In the heart of the French countryside was a magnificent chateau, left forgotten for decades. Once owned by a wealthy Parisian carpet dealer, this beautiful monument to the 18th century craftsman had sadly been lost and abandoned. Until one family searching for a new way of life discovered its beauty and embarked on an adventure of a lifetime. Follow this family's journey in restoring this beautiful chateau to its former glory. This is Château De Lalacelle. Today at the chateau, we meet the family taken on this project and follow their first visit to the chateau in the summer of 2020. This is the family's own home video from their visit, looking at the chateau, cottage, and some of the grounds.
So we're the new family of Château De Lalacelle. At the moment the family's in two parts, so there's us here in the UK and then there's the other part in France at the Château doing some renovations at the moment. Reason being is just because we're still looking after our business here in the UK until that sells. So me and Tracy, my mum, just need to run it, and obviously once it's sold then we'll be able to go over and crack on with some of the renovations. So I'm Terry. I've lived in Middlesbrough pretty much most of my life, born and bred here, and I moved to Huddersfield to do art and design, and then came back, and with my partner Ash we opened a pet shop. It was really successful, been there for 10 years, and then halfway through my mum joined us.
I'm Tracy, Terry's mum. Started grooming, like I say, 5 years ago. Been really good. Hard work to start with, but really good now. And I think it's just time for a change now, and a nicer way of life.
Yeah.
With us all together, which is the most important thing.
Yeah.
Is that we're all together.
It's been quite, like, because the business has been so busy, it's been quite intense, hasn't it?
It has been intense.
Quite a lot. So we're just wanting just a different way of life, and especially for us, and just for all of us, and to bring
and a new challenge, definitely a new challenge, which I think we're all looking forward to.
Yeah, well,
more than anything.
Brilliant.
We're going to tag Jonathan along.
Yeah.
This is Jonathan. You introduce yourself.
I'm Jonathan.
Jonathan's our grandson.
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 7 years old, and
You're looking forward to going to France?
I'm looking forward to go to France again, back to the Château, because we were playing football, obviously with my nana, and we never stopped playing football, did we?
No, we didn't. We like playing football.
We'll go for nice long walks, don't we?
Yeah, we go for nice long walks.
On a nice path.
Yeah.
There's loads of land, isn't there?
There's
So
like,
play
we have
football as
22,
much as you want.
Yeah, and we have 22 acres.
We do, 22
Of land.
acres. Yeah,
Yeah, that's a lot.
it is. Yeah.
Jonathan's already speaking French, aren't you?
Yeah.
Bonjour. You're not doing it now.
Because we're not in France.
I don't think Nana's very up to date on French, is she? Nana's not very good with the French.
But we'll get there.
Yeah,
We've got the
absolutely.
basics.
Hi, I'm Ashley. I'm from Middlesbrough.
I'm Tony, Middlesbrough as well, born and bred.
I'm currently working as a counsellor back in the UK for Middlesbrough as an exec member.
And I'm now retired, so I was a mechanical engineer for 40 odd years.
So we were just going to talk about why we chose France, why we chose this chateau, and just why we love it so much. So I think it's a case of we've been looking for a while. Well, we haven't done it. Terry had been looking for years and years.
Yeah, a couple of years he had his heart set on some fairy tale place. I think it all started probably nearly 10 years ago when we had a couple of trips to Oman, looked around some of the property shops and realised what could be bought for the ridiculously low prices compared to the UK.
And I've never been to France, and you brought me to Le Mans about 5 years ago, wasn't it? It was just, it wasn't somewhere that I'd ever envisaged being in France and coming here and just seeing it. I fell in love with France straight away, to be honest with you. And like Tony said, we seen something. It was a 5-bedroom house with a piece of land that was bigger than our whole street that we were living in the UK, and it was less than it was half the price of what our house was worth in the UK. So I think that was a clincher for us, wasn't it? And then
it was the space that you get, the pace of life is just so more relaxed. Pressures are still there, but they're only ever there in the background. It's just a whole different feel to live in.
And then when did you find this? I think you found it December last year, Terry found this?
14 months ago, something like that. After trawling the internet for months.
Yeah, and we came, obviously he'd found it. We'd all said pretty much no, not right now. The time wasn't right, and then COVID hit. So it was one of them, wasn't it? It changed all our priorities.
Well, with COVID, I was working from home for a little while, and then because work was drying up, I was put onto furlough, which left me with too much time on my hands. So now I started thinking maybe Terry's idea isn't such a bad one. Maybe he's not so daft, and the rest is history, really.
And then we came out, what was it, first weekend we were allowed out of the house, we were allowed to travel.
Terry being Terry, he actually booked the ferry before the actual lift had been announced to make sure he got a cheap price. And to make sure that there was space on the ferry.
And me and you, I think me and you, we were coming along as the sensible heads. We were the ones, not to dash the dream, but just to look at it from just a more realistic point of view, in that we were coming to basically talk him out of it, I think, and we were worse than him, weren't we?
Well, our Babcock routine fell apart. After the initial shock of seeing how overgrown everything was, we realised there was an opportunity to negotiate a more of a discount than we were going to. And then when we looked again, we realised that although there was lots of work, the reality was it was just hard graft. Not anything structural, major or dangerous. It was a case of trying to rein us in rather than rein Terry in.
Yeah, we were the ones. I think we went full steam with it. We wanted it. We wanted to be a part of this, and the feeling is magical, isn't it? It's not like anywhere else I've ever been in the world. To be honest with you, as soon as we got here, it felt just homely and natural to be here and want to be here.
There's been a couple of places in the UK where we've had sort of family gatherings, weekends away and things, and they've come close to being nice. Well, they've been nice and come close to being sort of idyllic, but you come here and you just feel like you drift away from everything. It's just the location, the fact that even though there's a main road there and you do get a little bit of traffic noise, you go around into the walled garden and it's just...
It's a different world, you could be anywhere in the world.
Yeah, it could be the Garden of Eden, it's just perfect.
Absolutely.
We came in the summer, obviously, and when it was warm around there, it was absolutely baking. Compete with anywhere in the world for nice weather, and the peace and quiet and the way life that goes with it. So it was very easy to sign up and basically pay the deposit on the day. Instead of looking around, the plan was to look at maybe another 2 or 3 that we had on our list and do some comparisons. none of them had the land, and none of them really had the character.
There was no compromise, was there, with this? There was nothing that we said, oh, we didn't like this, or we didn't like that, or it wasn't this.
No.
I think we came here in every single box of where it is, what it is, the land, the chateau, the buildings. It was there, wasn't it? It was.
Yeah, it's close to enough people to be able to get anything we want. Supermarkets, 10 minutes drive away. Big hypermarkets and DIY stores wherever we want, 20 minutes away the other direction. There's a small boulangerie a short walk away if you're feeling keen. But it feels like you're in the middle of nowhere. It gives you that isolation in a nice way, not in a stuck away way.
But we don't have to give up on anything in our way of life, do we? We've got big, massive shopping centres, not like I said, 20 minutes away. So again, it's just far enough away to be away, but it's close enough to it not to be inconvenient, isn't it?
Yeah. And I mean, the things that we were looking for, there's a bit of everything here. We've got the bonus is the lake that we can maybe develop in the future. We've got some woodland. We've got a couple of big fields. We've got a lovely garden. And we've got the properties. The cottage is going to turn into a stunner. It will certainly complement the chateau. The chateau, when we bring her back to life, she will be absolutely stunning. There's so much of the original things that we're going to keep and retain and restore and bring the best back out of. Hard work, but that's what it was all about. We knew it was going to be hard work, so that's why we're here.
So the reason we bought property in France and what drew us to France was every year we used to holiday in France. We used to go to Le Mans, Saint Malo, and a couple other places, didn't we?
Yeah, to see a racing.
We did. We used to go to see the races and all the cars, didn't
And
we?
all of them cars that, like the fire that came out with like the wheels and didn't burn the wheels, I like, is it going to burn the wheels or not? Because it came out with the wheels.
I know. So yeah, so it was that was like a massive draw, and we just loved the lifestyle and just everything about it really. So we started looking at just little properties, didn't we? Really, just like little
like,
jeets.
we have a little cottage in France.
We did.
With
We had
the
a little
chateau.
yeah, a little cottage.
Yeah.
We were looking at those, and then over
Okay.
time, obviously, it just looked for like what you could get for your money, and straight away it just went on obviously looking at rundown chateaus. And I was pestering the whole family for a few years, and they kept on saying, "Oh, 10 years, 10 years."
No, 5.
Yeah, and then
5.
and then it just at the chateau that obviously we're in now. I spotted at the end of 2019 on the internet and just fell in love with it straight away. And then showed the family it.
Convinced us all that it was the right one.
Showed them in 2020, beginning of 2020.
2019 we bought it and then we went.
No, 2020. So 2020, we introduced it to them, and they all loved it as well. And then obviously COVID hit, and it just all made us sort of look at life completely different. It just made us more.
And have
more
masks
determined.
on. That's the only thing
More determined to go and to do something different.
Definitely, yeah, just a different way of life instead of
I mean, we were working. It was constant, wasn't it? Constant working, and we thought this is a different way to work now. We know it's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy, but
no, of course not. But it's just a
it'll
new
be
challenge.
won't it?
Yeah,
new
it'll be something for us to work towards.
For everyone.
Yeah. So we went over as soon as it was safe to travel after the first lockdown. We went to view the property. That was me, Tony and Ash. We went over to view it. And my mum looked after the business while I went over. And the second we saw it, it was a bag of mixed emotions because of how derelict the property was compared to the pictures, and just how sort of beautiful it was. It was just a mixed set of emotions with it all. And then we came back over again, and
we went to
you came over, didn't you, Mum? And
Yeah,
for the very first time.
Yeah.
And it was you didn't come. No. And just seeing it the first time, it was just unreal, wasn't it?
Yeah, because I was at
I think
Blackpool,
it's just
wasn't it?
the quiet, peace and quiet there, isn't it? And
Yeah, it is.
just to be able to stroll around.
I know, and
Yeah, just the peace and quiet and all the land, all the space that we've got to do things. And
Yeah, just the potential for
Yeah.
everything, not just with the chateau, but with the buildings and the land.
Yeah,
We've just
yeah.
got so much there to do it with,
yeah,
so it will be great. But yeah,
what you were going to say?
I don't know. I can say like.
but anyway, you'll be able to see, obviously, our first visit at the chateau.
This beautiful cottage will be renovated to a home for Tracy, Tony and little Jonathan.
Windows are nice and big. Where's that?
Goes upstairs.
That far?
No, that does.
No. This way into the chateau. Obviously, it's been here for some while empty, like some time, quite empty there.
I said to you 20 odd year, didn't I?
Yeah, because the photos look nothing at all like this.
It's been on the market. I'd say, like I say, if we offered a person, I've seen a little animal. In the top there. Where are they? Little lizards. Is it lizards?
Yeah.
Oh, there is there.
Yeah.
You see? I'll take a little picture of the baby. Oh yeah. Oh, just bug it off. Come on. Have you seen animals running?
Follow this family's tour around the chateau next time, on Escape to the Dream, Restoring the Chateau.